Hollywood thrives on love stories, but it lives for their collapse. And when the collapse involves one of Tinseltown's most iconic power couples, the drama practically writes itself. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's split was already headline-worthy, a shocking end to nearly 2 decades of red carpets, swooning interviews, and a carefully polished image of perfection. But now, new claims of infidelity are surfacing, and they threaten to rewrite everything fans thought they knew about the golden couple. Was this split really about distance, busy schedules, and quiet disagreements? Or is there a darker truth hiding in the shadows of Hollywood's spotlight? Nicole and Keith's love story always felt like a second chance. After her very public and devastating divorce from Tom Cruise, Nicole was the woman who walked through fire and rose again. She rebuilt her career, took control of her narrative, and found love in the most unexpected place. At a Jide USA event in Los Angeles in 2005, when she met the Australian country star who seemed like her perfect match. Keith Urban wasn't just charming, he was different. Humble, a little rough around the edges, but deeply romantic. Within a year, they were married in Sydney in a lavish candlelit ceremony that seemed to prove that happy endings did exist. But beneath the fairy tale glow, cracks appeared almost immediately. Just 4 months after the wedding, Keith checked into rehab for substance abuse, a battle that would continue to haunt their marriage. Nicole, to her credit, stood by him, fiercely loyal and unflinching in the face of whispers that her new husband was already falling apart. Their story became one of resilience, love conquering adversity. For years, they clung to that narrative, presenting themselves as Hollywood's unshakable couple. But new reports claim that the cracks were wider than anyone realized. Insiders are now pointing to infidelity as a key reason behind the split, suggesting that Keith may not have been the picture-perfect husband the public adored. While no names have been officially confirmed, speculation is running wild across social media, with fans dissecting every paparazzi photo, every red carpet interaction, and every cryptic lyric in Keith's songs. Did his touring lifestyle, nights on the road, endless adoration from fans, the temptations that come with fame, play a bigger role in the unraveling of their marriage than previously admitted? Nicole, for her part, has always been the consummate professional. Rarely one to let personal turmoil overshadow her work, she poured herself into projects like Big Little Lies and Being the Ricardos, showing the world that she was still at the top of her game. But those close to her suggest she was deeply hurt by the rumors. According to one source, Nicole had been aware of, inappropriate behavior for years, but chose to look the other way in the hopes of preserving her family. Another insider claims that things came to a breaking point in the last couple of years, when whispers of Keith's infidelity became, impossible to ignore. The rumors, if true, cast their carefully curated image in a whole new light. For years, fans swooned over their red carpet kisses, their loving gazes, the way Keith would dedicate songs to Nicole during concerts. But what if those moments were part performance, part damage control? Hollywood is built on illusion after all, and no one knows that better than the stars themselves. And then there's the question of timing. Their split announcement was carefully worded, emphasizing mutual respect and gratitude. But strategically, it came at a moment when Nicole had new projects lined up, with award season buzz already circling, while Keith was preparing for a major tour. Was the joint statement a way to contain the fallout before the real stories could emerge? Was it an attempt to control the narrative before tabloids dug too deep? The silence from both camps on the infidelity rumors only fuels speculation. In Hollywood, silence is rarely neutral. It often means there's something just a bit too messy to say out loud. Fans, of course, are divided. Some refuse to believe Keith could have been unfaithful, pointing to years of love songs and heartfelt interviews. Others argue that his past struggles with addiction always hinted at deeper issues, and that life on the road is almost synonymous with temptation. Meanwhile, Nicole has emerged from the split more glamorous than ever, attending fashion events and premieres with her signature icy poise, a woman in control, even as the world speculates about her private heartbreak. If the claims of infidelity are true, the implications go beyond gossip. They shatter the very idea of Nicole and Keith as Hollywood's proof that love could survive the chaos. Their marriage was often held up as a model, a story of loyalty, of second chances, of rebuilding after hardship. But if betrayal was lurking in the shadows all along, then even this golden couple wasn't immune to the same failures that haunt ordinary relationships. And maybe that's why people can't look away, because if Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban couldn't make it work, with all their resources, all their support, and all their seemingly perfect devotion, what does that mean for the rest of us? But here's the other side. Could the infidelity rumors themselves be nothing more than a distraction? Hollywood thrives on scandal. A clean, mutual split doesn't sell magazines or rack up clicks. But add the word cheating and suddenly the story explodes. It's possible that whispers of infidelity are just the tabloids doing what they do best, filling the gaps with speculation, turning an ordinary heartbreak into a salacious headline. After all, Nicole and Keith have yet to confirm or deny any of these claims, and maybe they never will. Still, the silence leaves a vacuum, and in that vacuum, the narrative writes itself. Nicole emerges as the strong, elegant survivor once again, while Keith becomes the flawed, complicated figure who couldn't keep his demons in check. It's a narrative that feels almost too neat, too familiar. But perhaps that's the point. Hollywood doesn't just report stories, it scripts them, packages them, and sells them back to us as entertainment. And right now, the story of Nicole and Keith's marriage, and its messy unraveling, is box office gold. So, what happens next? Well, Nicole will almost certainly continue her career renaissance, taking on roles that really challenge her and cement her legacy as one of the greatest actresses of her generation. Keith, meanwhile, faces a more complicated path. You know, country music thrives on heartbreak, and his fans may rally around him. But honestly, the whispers of infidelity could shadow his career, forcing him to reckon with how he's perceived both as an artist and as a man. At the end of the day, this isn't just about two celebrities calling it quits. It's about the way Hollywood builds myths, and the way those myths eventually collapse. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were supposed to be the exception, the rare love story that lasted. Now, with infidelity rumors swirling, they're a reminder that even the most perfect images can fracture. And honestly, that's why the world can't stop watching. We cut through the glitter and tell you what's really happening behind the velvet ropes. If you want the truth behind Hollywood's biggest breakups, scandals, and power plays, don't just scroll past. Hit subscribe, join the conversation, and come with us as we explore the stories that stars don't want told. Stylish, smart, unfiltered. Because in Hollywood, love may fade, but the drama never does.